This field is in motion and approaching the start. And they're off. And it's a battle into the first turn for control. The battle continues by the half and approaching the far turn. Stride for stride past the three-quarter pole and approaching the top of the stretch.
10, 9,
and
8,
as they
7,
hit the top
6,
of the stretch,
5,
it's
4,
Mission Green. Foiled again,
1.
Muscle Hill, Captain Treacherous and Vegas Vacation, Lucky Jim, a rock and roll dance, be a magician, Sebastian K approaches the line. Lucio is coming late, and as they hit the wire, it's too close to call.
Now here's North American Harness Update on SRN1.
Mikey got with Sharon. Sharon got Cherie. She was sharing Sharon's outlook on the topic of disease. Well, Mikey had a facial scar and Bobby was a racist, and they were all in love with dying. They were just doing it in Texas. Tommy played piano like a kid out in the rain, but then he lost his leg in Dallas because he was dancing with the train. They were all in love with dying, and they were drinking from a fountain that was pouring
singing
like an
lyrics.
avalanche coming down the mountain. That, of course, famous limerick by one of the greatest philosophers of our time, Mr. Butthole Surfer himself, bringing us just this weird tidbit of humanity that I feel is very fitting as an introduction into this show about horse racing and gambling and losing money and also winning money. Mostly the second part. That's what we try to do. The first part sometimes just happens as a casualty that you really have no control over. All of that said, this is another edition of North American Harness Update. I am another iteration of the Ray Catolo. I was absent last week. Now I am no longer absent, at least for this week. Joined here by Mike Pribosi, Rod Allums Jr., my two cohorts. I'm assuming Rod Allums Jr. is here. I saw he went to go take a little potty break, and I don't mean he went to go crack open a couple brewskis, that kind of potty. No siree. I'm talking about some brewskis we're cracking him. And we have some races to talk about this evening. First things first, though, boys. Doing well over there?
Trying to.
Oh, that's fantastic. We got lots of live action to roll straight into, starting with the $5,000 guaranteed pick four at the Raceway Western Fair District. Following that, we're going to jump into the late pick four. Do I say late pick four? I mean just the pick four over at the Meadowlands. It's a $50,000 guaranteed pool, starting with race 8. And later on in the show, we got Woodbine Mohawk Park pick four for tomorrow. That's all we really have planned, but we got to get rolling in with the racing action. The first leg of this pick four goes in 7 minutes. What I'm going to do is I want us all to list off our tickets right off the bat. We're going to dissect the sequence as we go. So to start off with this analysis, my ticket for this London pick four goes as follows. It's a 20-cent play. I got the 2-3 with the 1-6 with the 1-2-8 with the 1-4-8-9. That's $9.60 for 20 cents. Mike, what are you playing with tonight?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 with a 1, 6 with 1, 5, 8 with 1, 3, 8, and it's 14, 40, I think.
And Rod, what are your numbers?
3-4 with 1-5-6 with the 5 scratched in race 8. 1-2-6-8 with 1. It's $24 for a buck.
And then I'm just realizing, too, in Mike's graphic, he's probably going to have the wrong price because I had to adjust those quickly since the 5 scratched exactly around like 8:30 when I was making these graphics. So apologies for the incorrect price on those. All that said, all that done, the first leg starts in 7 minutes. I'm going too deep in this race, taking the 2 and the 3 Ocean View Onoma, and PC Glide Line. They're currently on the board at 9-2 and 3-1. It's a pretty even betting board in this field, surprisingly. And Mike, I can only assume that you would understand since you're the deepest of all of us in this first race.
Yeah, I just think it's, wide open. And these lower level races, a lot of it depends on trip and, who leaves and, things like that. There's a few post switches, including the 1, the 2, both moving from the 7 hole. The 2 gets first time Lasix. The 1's not impossible in the race. Even though it's 1 for 32 life, the horse hasn't seen any kind of decent post for quite a long time, and last race was much better than the previous 5. So I'm okay with him. The 2's obvious, getting Lasix. The 3's the favorite after a 5-length blowout. And then the 4 is another that gets a post switch that was racing well at a slightly lower level. I'll try those 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rod, only half of those numbers sound even tolerable to your sophisticated palate. Please explain why the 3 and the 4 are superior to the rest.
The 3 PC Glide line definitely plays here just because she's got early speed. When she's flat, she wins this race every single time. She's coming off of 2 of her last 3 races were wins, a break in between there. Scott Coulter stays on the drive, and she absolutely crushed this field last week. The 4 Possible Credit, the other horse I'm using, had the outside post in a much, much tougher race. That race went in 2:01 and 3 last week compared to PC Glide Line on the same night, who went in 2:04 and 1. So I excuse that last race. I thought the horse was perfectly fine there, just in a little bit over her head. And you look back to starts against these types, she was right there every week with 3 wins, a second and a third in those 5 efforts.
You were just listing a lot of numbers that were more than the numbers I asked you for, but I'm going to pretend like I understood what you were saying. I do take the 2 and the 3. I'm going to agree with Mike on this 2. Incredibly obvious given the addition of Lasix. But also, I did not trust singling the 3 in this race because I see 2 starts. The horse went a little jumpy around the track and ended up finishing 6th as the odds-on favorite. Of course, he bounced back to win last out, but I have trust issues, especially with trotters on small tracks. It's very hard for me to commit to them, so I'm going to go 2 deep. The 2 at least has some form of consistency, gets a post switch, returns to a track where he at least performed decently 2 starts back, or she performed decently 2 starts back, and hopefully that's enough to get this horse involved. I have a hard time seeing anyone else in this field performing well, but then again, I'm not going to really lessen my opinion because it's the best opinion. Second leg of this sequence is the 8th race. It's a claiming condition pace for a purse of $5,000. The scratch of the 5 really throws more than a monkey wrench. It throws a wheelbarrow full of cinder blocks into this race because this was the horse that was supposed to just beat them all. 7-5 morning line favorites now out. I struggled to find any other horses besides this one. I end up going 2 deep. We all go 2 deep with the same horses, the 1 and the 6. Rod, of course, since you are our handicapper for the Raceway West Fern District over at NAHUpicks.com, which is our website where you can find all sorts of fun little horse racing tidbits. Why are the 1 and the 6 the standouts in this race?
The 1 just because he's got the rail. You expect him to go. He was off over a month, almost 6 weeks to be exact, between his last start and the start prior from Leamington to London. He raced pretty well last week, and I thought it was a good tightener. He come a third quarter in 28 and 4 in that race, a mile in 2:01, which is right there with everything in this race. The only issue I have with him is that he's 0 for 20 on the year and 1 for 35. But I think he's a use from the rail, and on the sloppy track, he's going to be close, and that's where you need to be tonight. And then the 6, Back River Duke, Nick Stewart stays on. This one has the early speed advantage. You know he's going to go. He should be cutting a mile, and they're going to have to catch him. I don't know if they'll be able to tonight based on the way the track's been, and it is very sloppy up there in London tonight. So I think with him being the one to catch, he's the horse you have to be playing off of.
Now, Mike, is there anything that Rod did not say as to why these 2 are the ones to use?
No, I agree with Rod. They're the 2 horses that look the best. A lot of the other ones, the 2, the 3, the 4, all beating double digits. The 7 comes off a 6 scratch, and the 8 breaks almost every other race. So I'm 1-6 also.
A phrase you not hear often. I agree with Rod. Third leg is the 9th race. Condition trotting event purse is $5,600. I'm 3 deep here with the 1, 2, and 8. Holiday Holly to the inside. Gets a post switch off a decent trip last out. Second star off the layouts appealing to me. Sicario's on the class drop. That's the main reason why I use that one. And I throw on the 8 Jim Rat, who's going to be trailing the 1 Holiday Holly, likely to push out from the inside. At least he should. and the 8's going to likely follow. Will definitely benefit from sitting close to the pace. Rod, I understand you use those 3 and 1 more.
Yep, I'm using 1, 2, and 8, and I also throw the 6 in there. You look at the recency on this horse. His previous race was November 18th, scratched out on the 25th up in Nova Scotia, and then shipped down, raced at Flamborough on the 6th about a week ago. That was a decent race, having missed a couple weeks and shipping all the way down. I expect better tonight, and I think as long as he can get in the mix early, which he does have some gate speed. He didn't show any over at Flamborough last time, but if he gets in the mix early, I think this horse plays at some very good value.
And now, Mike, you totally ditched the morning line favorite Sicario as well as the 6, and you try with the 5 on your 158 ticket.
Yeah, my problem with the 2 is that, the last 2 races are poor. He's going to take a huge amount of money off this drop here. And, I'm not really seeing any London lines. This horse is very quirky, too. When he used to race at Woodbine, sometimes he'd get in the front and stop. I'm against. I think the 1's very obvious, second off. The 5 is interesting. Star Photo likes this racetrack. Raced better last time. Is consistent enough. 7 wins last year, 4 this year, 40 lifetime wins. Carroll knows the horse, always seems to take a bet. And then the 8 Jim Rod also likes the racetrack, second off the layoff. I think that, that was a tougher race last time. And, another one with a chance with any kind of trip.
And now, if you ask me, the best leg in this entire sequence is the payoff leg. Not to say that it is good to get a payoff, let alone to even make it to the 4th leg. But I think the final leg is the toughest leg in the sequence.
What do you want, crack?
If you consider Regal Tiger vulnerable, first things first, Rod, I know for a fact, because I see your numbers right here, you don't think Regal Tiger loses.
No, he's drawn 7 and 8 his last 2 starts over at Flamborough. And you look at his last 5 starts, he's drawn nothing but outside post. He gets the rail tonight. He's going to be going early. He's got 13 wins on the year. He's an old class horse. I don't see him losing this race, especially from the rail.
Mike, you're closer in my camp. You do use Regal Tiger, but you try with 2 others at prices.
Yeah, just because, the 1's probably 1 to 5 in the race, and he's won 13 times this year. He's a stud. There's no question about it, but he's 12 years old. It's getting late in the year. The 3's interesting off the bench. 2 big wins at London back in March, and then qualifier was okay against better at Woodbine. Now shows up here and draws well, gets Carroll. I use that one, and then the 8, Boat Wrecker. I like Kelly getting back on this horse. Draws inside. 0 for 24 in the year, but 9 shares. And, he's interesting just back on the driver's in the inside post. So 1-3-8.
The gelding is a stud. Go figure that. We're all in agreement that Regal Tiger's worthy of being the favorite. He definitely gets the benefit of the inside draw. He's raced well against similar over on the bigger track, and he raced well even on the smaller track. Just because he had the disadvantage of the post, he never really got to show his full form. But again, since London's frequently a real trip track, there are a couple horses I see that could potentially pull the apple cart the other way, as I think the idiom goes. Ryan Klein is one horse that I'm interested in off a first over trip last out to finish 4th against this group last out. If he gets a different kind of trip, one where he has to do not first over work, I think he can be involved. I'm in agreement too with Boat Wrecker. This horse is going to be drafting behind Regal Tiger and will definitely get a good position as a result. And on the 9 Statement, 3rd start off the claim off of 2 straight runner-up finishes. This horse, the only thing is that Tyler Borth jumps on, Colin Kelly jumps off. Maybe that plays to our benefit, because people will see that and go, "Oh, this horse is garbage because Colin Kelly doesn't like him." But the horse is still decent, can improve, gets a decent spot. Issue is that trailing the 2 horse off the gate's gonna have to find some way to get into the race. But if he can get up close, I see him being a factor. He can be a factor. So I'm 1-4-8-9 in that final leg as we're 15 seconds away from post time for the start of this late pick 4 at London. 1-2 favorite, the 3 PC Glide line. Then the 2-1 second choice. Now 9-5, the 4 possible credit. 8-1 on the 2 Ocean View Unoma. Recap, I am live to the 2 and the 3 in this leg. Mike's got the 1, 2, 3, 4. Rod alive to the 3 and the 4 as the wings of the gate are open. The starter has called. We're going to get underway in the first of 8 races we have live here tonight on North American Harness Update. The opening leg of the NAHU Picks 4. Is that what it's called?
NAHU Pick 4.
NAHU Pick, well, they know it's plural, right? From London Raceway at Fair Western District.
That's not right.
Dyslexia is a bad thing for me. Field of 7 in line, in behind, approaching the start. The kickoff leg of the pick 4, they're off. Outside, Dusty Lane Amber's leaving out from in between Ladies Intuition, as PC Glideline also pushes out 2 towards the inside into that first turn. Ladies Intuition brushing past the favorite PC Glideline to gain control to the opening quarter, tucking into third. Dusty Lane Amber ahead of Possible Credit away fourth, moving into the back stretch as now Coulter pulls with PC Glideline out of the pocket, circling towards the lead. Ladies Intuition now going to sit second ahead of Dusty Lane Amber, trotting third to the opening quarter. Back fourth is Possible Credit, then locked in around the turn. Looks like LMC hashtag as they race through the fog and the mist around that far turn first time. 1-2 favorite. PC Glideline's in control. Second is Ladies Intuition, marching uncovered to be third. Ocean View Unoma wide of Dusty Lane Amber, locked in fourth, turning into the lane first time. It's still PC Glideline on a decent margin of 2.5. Ladies Intuition loosely tracking second. Ocean View Unoma's driving closer in third. Dusty Lane Amber's fourth. Outside then, moving into the turn, Possible Credits locked in. Outside then, LMC hashtag by the looks of it. It's a slow pace. First quarter, 31 and 4 the half, 105 and 4 as Ocean View Unoma says bye-bye, dropping out of contention into the back stretch. PC Glideline in front by 2 3/4. Inside Ladies Intuition. Out of the rail comes Dusty Lane Amber, now up to be second with Possible Credit on that one's helmet to the 3/4 pull in 1:37 and 4/5. It is a quick pace into the turn. PC Glideline ahead by 3.5. Possible Credit ranges up to be second as Dusty Lane Amber holds on to show as they turn into the lane. PC Glideline is the one to catch, cuts the corner ahead of Possible Credit, chasing in second and giving futile pursuit into the final 1/8 of a mile. It's the 1-2 favorite cruising home. PC Glideline, a winner by 2.5. Possible Credit second from Dusty Lane Amber, then LMC hashtag OCC. Ladies Intuition, wide of them, I think was Juner. At some point we should see Ocean View Unoma. 2 minutes 10 for PC Glideline.
Told you that track is horrible tonight.
I'm shocked.
What do you mean? That was a track record.
Yeah.
Every race I watch at London is a favorite. Every race.
You don't watch all the races.
We're so
yeah, because after I shot the 9th favorite off in the 10th race, a long shot winner. That's what happens.
1-2 over 2-1 over 23-1 over 45-1.
What did they finish?
3, 4, 6, 8.
3, 4. That's not bad. That should be a decent exacta, Rod. Yeah.
No,
Favorite
they're 2
1
favorites.
Over favorite 2. The way we all wish we could hit them.
Yeah. Not really, but
That was the first from London. Where are we at the Meadowlands? Race 7 just went off.
7.
Who won that? Was it Tact Tate?
I don't know.
All I see is that there was a $123,000 bet. And as they go away, nope, geez, Joe. Okay.
Oh, geez, Joe. Nice.
Yeah.
come right back to win.
I went against him. I thought he might have bounced.
I like geez, Joe.
He's a good horse, but after
He's
the
sharp
Potomac
right
pace,
now.
I thought, he might need a start, but he didn't.
He's extremely sharp right now.
That's why he broke.
Got to go there because they're going to be. That's the next thing, I guess, huh?
Well, if the Chalk Fest could not continue at London, it's going to at least continue into the Meadowlands. Let's move on to the I was communicating with those of a higher consciousness who happen to be tuning in at the moment. They understood exactly what I was saying. This late four at the Meadowlands is coming up in 15 minutes, and so far there's actually been one price on the card, a horse that I had picked fourth on the website, who I didn't even think could win, but from I could conjecture, the race fell apart completely, and that horse won and paid $22. But aside from that, it's been pretty much. If you know how to read you don't even have to know how to read a program, and you can win. That's basic. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to say it, and I still didn't say it correctly. I'm just hoping these words will stop coming out of my mouth at some point. This first leg is a condition event. Numbers of 8,500, if I'm not mistaken. It's a $20,000 optional tag. A field of 9 going postward. Of course, I have my ticket posted up on our website, NAHUpicks.com, because I am the one who does Meadowlands analysis, at least for Fridays, and now Thursdays, since since the institution I pay $40,000 a year to go to has given me a month's reprieve. This first leg, Mike, you are 4 deep. Rod, you are also 4 deep. However, Mike, you didn't get to go first last time, and I'm feeling generous. Explain to us your route of attack in this first leg.
Well, it's numbers of 8,500, but, it's, I don't know, it were like a numbers of 5,000 kind of race to me. We've talked about this many times with the different versions of these races. It also has an optional 20 claiming tag on it. Anyway, 4 deep, starting with the 3 Century Churchill, looms the chalk, dropping from numbers of 12,000, and, has been facing much tougher from outside post, draws better, typically a closer, but he should get a little bit, I would think, of a better spot early, and then, he's been kicking 27 and 1 home, and that rally's going to play better at this level, I think. So he's a use. The 4 Decision Day, I think, is racing very well. 1-2 back numbers of 5,000, and this horse grinded the entire way around the racetracks to just get up. Then last time stepped up 9-hole, no chance there, but still finished in 27 to be 5th and got a check. 9 wins this year as a 3-year-old. I'll use that one. The 7 Sealed the Deal. Got Brett Miller last time off a 6 scratch, and just missed in a fast race, 51-3 to UF Rock and Dragon. That's a nice horse. This horse has 5 wins this year. I think the step up is fine. Raced okay November 10th at this level, kicking 26-3. That was a tougher race than this one, and this horse is 10-1 on the board. And then you have the 8, the Speed Again. This is Burke Gingras. Woke up last time at Philly off the drop, and this horse likes this place, likes the big track. Burke Barnes always hot, and this horse has been racing at a little bit higher level at Philly. I think has a chance. 3, 4, 7, 8.
Rod, if you could be any library book, what would you be?
The Notepad.
All right, literacy test passed. Now, what do you have in this race?
I'm 4 deep, starting with the 1 Pickle Preacher. Goes to the big tracks. It's Zurich. It's his 3rd start with him. The break last time, I'm not too concerned with, just because I was on the half. He moves over to the Meadowlands. I think you're going to see a better mile from him. He seemed to do pretty well over at the 5 Ace in Pennsylvania. So I'm thinking the move over to the Meadowlands is a good move for him. And he gets the rail, so he's going to be sitting right up close near the pace. The 3 Century Churchill, he's pretty obvious in here. He's been coming home in 26 and change, 27 and change every single week. And he's dropping in class, so I think he's a must-use from a good post here. The 4 Decision Day gets a driver change to Andy McCarthy. He's coming off a pretty good race last week. I texted you guys after he raced. He was loaded with pace. He shook loose really late. I thought it was an excellent race there. He's a must-play for me in here, and he's offering decent value as well. And the horse likes to win. And then the one that Corey Callahan took, the 9 Bruce's Magic, he's coming off a good race. He got used really hard getting to the lead over at Philly last time out, and his Meadowlands starts were good against tougher horses. You look 2 back, he paced 49 and change against the likes of horses that would demolish his group. And if he can get up close and not get used too hard early on, I think he's going to be a factor in here once again. So 1, 3, 4, and 9.
I am 3 deep here. I also take the one Pickled Preacher, moving into the optional claiming tag. Third start off, the claim here for Nick Surik, who's done really well with climbers so far on this meeting at the Great Meadowlands Race Place in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's the patent pending trademark. As the inside draw moves to the bigger track, all really positive signs in my humble opinion. And in my braggadocious opinion, this horse looks nice. CC Big Boy Sam is one I use too. He moves up in class but has been racing well on this circuit, even though it was against those lower level claimers. Ever since being claimed though on November 10th, this horse has been on a track of improvement. And with the right trip, I see him being able to pull off a potential upset here. And then I also use the 4 Decision Day, gets a post switch, had post 9 last out, doesn't have post 9 this time. He gets post 4 this week. He kicked home well to finish 5th against Larry Carr and other horses that fit this level. Mostly the post switch is probably going to play to his benefit so long as he can get up close and sit up close and then kick home well, because he's one of a couple horses in this field that can kick that or go through that final quarter very quickly, and that should be what he does, I guess. 1, 2, 4 for me in the first leg. I'm not really getting too creative there, except maybe with a couple of prices. Second leg, so I am getting kind of creative. Second leg is the 9th race. It's numbered at 3,500. The last 5 starts going for a very high purse of $8,125. And Mike, well, actually, no, Mike, you do not go deepest near Rod. You just basically said screw the formula and you took all of them.
Yeah, I did not like this race. I sat debating this race for, 20 minutes earlier today.
Really?
Yeah, I just couldn't find anything. I knew I had already spent too much time on it, and I decided to hit the all button because I did find a single later in this sequence, so no real opinion for me in this race.
Okay, well, let's get someone with an actual opinion. Mikey Mike, you at least take 5 of them.
Yeah, more than half, which, kind of attributes to Rod's theory here. And I probably could have taken them all for cost purposes. The one, Twin Creeks Jesse, gets second time big track now, kicked 27 and 1 last time, and is better up close and should probably get a little bit of a closer trip here from this spot. And a little bit of a drop here. So I think that one's a use. The 2, Cheyenne Raider, this horse just loves this place. And, has been racing extremely well. Got picked off in the last stride on December 1st, and then last time was out the entire way and still kicked 26 and 4 to just get beat in 10 claimers. This isn't that much tougher than that, and, his class is no issue. He's made $400,000. The 4, Live On, another one that was racing numbers of $5,000. Had raced well here at Meadowlands, back numbers of $3,500. If you look back in November, those 2 lines fit here. And, 2 rough trips the last 2 races. I could see a better trip could equal a better finish. The 7, Indy Ingot, looks like the chalk in here. Just got beat last time, on the lead the whole way in a fast race. And, just couldn't hang on. Draws a little bit further outside, but I didn't mind that race 2 back either. Just really had no chance from the 10 hole. And then the 8, He Can Fly, third time back. This is Marcus. And, the horse is 0 for 14, but did win 10 races last year. Was out almost the whole time the last time, still kicked 27 and 1. He's another one that if the race would fall apart, it could maybe, suit his style. So 1, 2, 4, 7, 8.
Now, maybe I had a big steel pipe whip me on the backside of the head. Maybe a stampede of overweight elephants took me by surprise and trampled me down the I-95. Maybe, just maybe, a piece of bad quartz was placed underneath my pillow and tainted all of my dreams to make me think of Chef Boyardee. But I do not think that this is as wide open a race as some may claim. I'm 3 deep here. I do take Cheyenne Raider. That's one of the horses Mike used. I feel like this is a key horse to use in this race. 2 starts back, launched off the gate from post 7 as the favorite. Did finish second to a horse that sat a better trip than he did as he set the pace, but still nonetheless finished second by a neck. And then last out, did a change of tactics, raced from off the pace from that outside post, still kicked home in a sub-27 final quarter to finish 4th by a neck, which might as well just be, but it's a good finish. There's not really much more else to say about that. Inside draw this time around, he likely sits up close again, and he is one of the few horses in this race that is really worth using. Legion of Boom. Ever since Keith Toro said, you know what, I don't want my hands on the reins of this horse anymore. This horse has been on a trail of improvement. That's not a sleight of hand of anything against Keith. I'm sure he's a great guy, great driver, but this horse has been improving in his last couple of starts. It could also just be the fact that he's coming in off of that month-and-a-half layoff. Since then, he's making his 4th start off the bench tonight. Last out, he put an improved performance to finish 3rd with a sub-28 second final quarter against this group. And really, if he continues on that path of improvement, he can win here. I also use the 8th, then He Can Fly. He's the final horse I use. 3rd start off the layoff for this one. 2nd start since shipping from Monticello. Last out from an outside post. Road cover. Kicked home in the stretch in 27-1 to finish 5th. Was only 2 lengths off of the winner in that race. So this time around in the drop-in class, he has the outside draw again. But we saw that a horse like Cheyenne Raider did not hold on the lead, and we see Indy Ingot, the probable favorite, does have speed, so in the event that the front somehow collapses, He Can Fly, well, speaks for itself. 268 for me in the second leg. Pick 4. Third leg is the 10th race, numbers of 8,500 the last 5 starts. A field of, looks like 9 going postward. And Mike, to start off with you, you're taking 2 of them. Who are they?
The 2 deep. The one, Play Jet Ray.
Yes.
This horse raced very well last time. Straight homers at 3, just missed by half length to Wise Image, kicked home 27. And, it's Burke, Jingra. His race actually, if you look on November 10th, I know you don't like to look that far back, but the horse raced huge from the 10 hole. 7 wins this year, and he's going to be very low. I would expect sub even money. But the other horse I'm going to use is the 5, Pony Top Boy. I'm a little partial to this horse because he's made money in the past, but he's really had no chance these last 3 races that he's had. And if he gets a little bit of a trip in the race behind the 5, he has enough class to, I think, to pick him off late. So I'm 1-5.
Rod, you're also 2 deep, but not with a 5.
No, I'm using the 1, Play Jet Ray. He obviously is going to be the favorite here, and deservingly so. He gets the rail, and he's coming off a good race. He's been facing some pretty tough ones, so I think he's a must-play at a short price. And then the 3, Tire Shoe Ed. He just had some bad trips recently. I'm not a fan of how he's been racing his last few starts. I think he's one of those horses that needs clear sailing. Last week, he got kind of jammed up. There were horses 3 and 4 wide turning for home, and he finally shook loose late, popped out like 5 wide, and was just flying late. So just based off of that last 16th of a mile that he was honking on the end of that last race, I'm going to use him again here, thinking maybe he'll get a little bit better trip and not get jammed up in the back. So 1-3 for me.
How do you honk the horn on a horse? I'm 3 deep in this race. I agree with Play Jet Ray. I agree with Tire Shoehead. The one horse I do throw on is Messi, who could probably kick a field goal if you get what I'm saying. It's not even relevant to what I'm trying to say. This horse makes his first start since not racing since November. Some would call it a layoff.
Wrong sport.
This horse qualified in 153, and we also do have a race at London coming up soon, so I need to double check when that's happening. Okay, so we got that got that taken care of, but this horse qualified 53-3 last out after putting in 2 atrocious miles in November after a 6th scratch. I can only presume that things are getting better. Maybe not all the time, but at least maybe this time around. And then the 1 and the 3 are pretty obvious. So I'm 1, 2, 3. And that third leg, final leg, I'm singling Johnny Q because I do not like any horses in this race aside from Johnny Q. He is a price play. He is my price play. And gosh darn it, there are many like it, but this one is mine. Rod, you single.
Yeah, I'm not singling that one. I'm singling another one.
Because you're a loser.
So I'm going to win.
Loser.
The 3
You
Life
start
Happen.
yourself.
3 Life Happen. This is my single in the sequence. He's hit the board pretty often throughout the year. You don't see it on his lines recently, but he's been facing older horses. He drops down in class a little bit. Still facing older, but he plays a lot better against these types, these non-winners of 3,500s, because there is quite a bit of difference between this race and a non-winners of 5,000 and 8,500 where he has been competitive. So I think the class drop, inside post, he's going to be able to work out a good trip here. And this is my single. I don't see anything, outstanding in here. He looks like he fits better than anybody else here. And Blake McIntosh was watching. I don't know if he's still watching or not, but if you're still watching, Blake, let us know how you like him. 3, single for me.
Let us know, especially if you do not like him. That would probably be the most important information.
Yes, I'll go cancel my ticket.
30 seconds till post for the second leg of the pick 4 at London. Mike will save, unless you can say quickly why you like the 3, 6, and 7 in the last leg of the Meadowlands.
I like Rod 3. I don't mind that horse up the drop. I do like your 6 because this horse has raced well at the racetrack before. Those are upper levels at Monticello. And then I'm going to use the 7 also, Rolling Sea, who raced, in those tough numbers of 3 races, has 6 wins this year, and has had 2 wide trips in a row. Is going to be a price. So 3, 6, 7 to finish there.
Fantastic. My ticket for the pick 4 at the Meadowlands is 1, 2, 4 with the 2, 6, 8 with the 1, 2, 3 with the 6. It's a $13.50 play for 50 cents. Mike, your ticket.
3, 4, 7, 8 with 1, 2, 4, 7, 8 with 1, 5 with 3, 6, 7 and $60.
Rod.
1, 3, 4, 9 with 1, 3 with 3. It's $36.
Now, before we get to the first leg of the pick 4 at the Meadowlands, it's post time for the second leg of this pick 4 at the Raceway Western Fair District. And boy, oh boy, I get to call a foggy race. I haven't got to do one of these in a long time. And for some reason, the favorite here at 5 to 2 is the 8 Cortez the Killer. Must have burned his boats, I guess. Feeling really impassioned now and motivated. Something's happening. Also, it got really dark all of a sudden. Okay. It looks like we're a go. The recall light was blinking, but all the horses are in line. As Cortez Killer still the favorite at 5 to 2. 3 to 1 action on the 3 Casimir Priest, as well as the 6 Back River Duke. 7 to 2 to the inside. Now 4 to 1 the 1 Shark Out of Water. Field in line for the 8th from London, and now it's off. And a trotting Casimir Priest leaves out, as does Marvelous Marv to the inside. Shark Out of Water away 3rd. JD Murdoch is 4th. Back River Duke 5th. State of Play tucks into 6th. Cortez the Killer did not make the gate, as now the inquiry sign is posted because of him. Casimir Priest, meanwhile, 2.5 lengths ahead of Shark Out of Water to the backstretch. Marvelous Marv behind those 2 third. A gap of another 2.5. Then JD Murdoch 4th ahead of Back River Duke racing from 5th. State of Play 6th. And if anyone can find Cortez the Killer, please report him to the authorities. Quarter up. 32 and 2 into the far turn first time. It's Casimir Priest leading Shark Out of Water. Presumably no one's made a move. Marvelous Marv still 3rd from JD Murdoch 4th. Coming into the stretch and into our sights once more first time. Casimir Priest, we think is leader. Shark Out of Water, we think is 2nd. Marvelous Marv 3rd. We got horses moving outside from the back. Back River Duke, one of them, right on his back. State of Play as Casimir Priest remains the one to catch. Past the half in 106 and 2, 34 seconds for that second quarter. Here comes Back River Duke now up to race towards Casimir Priest's wheel, while to the inside Shark Out of Water drafts from the pocket. State of Play, gaps cover from 5th to the inside. Marvelous Marv is locked in, and JD Murdoch's in the back of the pack as they move into the backstretch now. The top two engage. Back River Duke, a narrow leader on Casimir Priest. Shark Out of Waters behind them. State of Play has dropped out of contention while Marvelous Marv needs Racing Room past three quarters, 1:37.3 as Back River Duke is kicked away from him. Leads by 2.5, rounding the final turn. Casimir Priest chases from second, giving pursuit two behind them. Shark Out of Water, but as they turn into the lane, it's an open lead for Back River Duke. He's the one to catch. Casimir Priest the closest threat, but he's not. Now he's gaining on the outside. He's come back. Here's Casimir Priest. We didn't see that one coming because we just saw him win. Come right by us. Photo between three of them on the line then. Inside Back River Duke, State of Play. And was that Cortez the Killer or Marvelous Marv? You be the judge. Or rather, we'll send it to the judges who will actually be the judge as Back River Duke lost in the final strides to Casimir Priest. That was a great representation of how my disappointment in that race. Although I thought about using Casimir Priest since the 5 scratched, then I didn't, so those words are now useless. However, he in the final strides did get up. Back River Duke held second. That was JD Murdoch for fourth.
I don't think Cortez the Killer made the fair start poll, so he's going to be non-starter.
I don't think so either. And he was the favorite in the race.
Well, then who was the second favorite?
The 3.
The 3?
Was it? They were both 5. They were all 5-2.
Yeah, they were all pretty even.
I don't know who it goes to then. Maybe because they were all 5-2, it just goes to the 7. I don't know. I'm not the one to be the judge.
Whoever had the most dollar amount on them. Let's see.
Meanwhile, the Meadowlands is apparently 13 seconds now, 9 seconds away from post time, as we're all out of the pick 4 at London.
The 3.
It was the 3.
Yep.
3 is the favorite.
Yuck.
By...
Now the coat's coming off. Because the action's just getting so heated. When I lose money, I just...
$35. $35 he was the favorite by.
That's it?
Yeah.
So if you had the 8, you get him too.
Yep. So if you had the 8, you are still live. And if you had the 3 and the 8, then...
so many questions.
If you had the 3 and the 8, you're live twice.
Well, we got to go to the Meadowlands now. I'm live to the 2 and the 3. Mike's alive to the 1, 2, 3, 4. Rod to the 3 and the 4. Favored here 2-1. We got 2 of them. Century Churchill and his neighbor to the right, Decision Day, who's drifted up to 5-2. Field of 9, all in line, in behind, approaching the start for the 8th. From the Meadowlands, and now it's away in a pacing. Seal the Deal shows speed from the far outside. Bruce's Magic pushed out for pace 2. Speed again, floating away for position to the first turn as there's 5 of them contesting for the point. Seal the Deal gets to the cones first. Leads here by about 2.5 as Decision Day from in between horses goes for the pocket. Bruce's Magic swooping up to challenge leader to the opening quarter. Now Decision Day splits horses for McCarthy. Those 3 battle for the lead. Behind them, 4th, CC Big Boy Sam as Common Discourtesy moves up to be 5th. Behind them, Speed against 6th. Then it's back to Century Churchill. Wide of them in the rear of the field, Spondu Licks, and Pickled Preacher trails them into the back stretch. Bruce's Magic cleared control from Decision Day, sitting the pocket. Common Discourtesy now advances first over. Now up to be 2nd, and Match strides with the pocket sitter. Then shuffled back, Seal the Deal races 5th. On cover, Speed again's now 2nd over. Spondu Licks catches that cover from 3rd over, with CC Big Boy Sam shuffled back to be 3rd to last. The penultimate, Pickled Preacher, and Century Churchill's last of all. Racing into the far turn. Bruce's Magic, a length leader on Common Discourtesy, pressuring to the outside. Then at the inside, Decision Day sits the pocket. Speed again, ready to tip 3 high here for Gingras, while Seal the Deal waits for Racing Room. Pickled Preacher, meanwhile, is making his bid. He's circling 3 wide from the back of the pack with Century Churchill to his helmet. 3/4 bound, they're fanning wide. Behind Bruce's Magic, Decision Day needs Racing Room to the inside. Outside, Common Discourtesy begins to retreat with Seal the Deal diving towards the cones. Bruce's Magic leads here by a length. On the outside, Decision Day, though, is surging by for McCarthy and now takes the lead coming into the 8th ball. Pickled Preacher Preacher towards the center of the track, moves up to be second with Seal the Deal splitting horses late. Decision Day to the line, though, coasts away, a length and a quarter winner. Pickled Preacher second, Seal the Deal did take third, with to the inside fourth, Bruce's Magic, as they pace the mile, 151 and 3, Decision Day, decisive in the line. In the line?
On the line.
It'd be on the line.
Got a little jump on him.
In the line.
Got the perfect trip there.
Nice drive, though. I mean, made a decision early to get the pocket instead of sitting, and that proved to be the difference in the race.
I was hoping the one would get by there at 16-1. That'd have been a really good start.
Decision Day.
Well, he looked good, but he flattened out.
Yeah, he did. He just had too much ground to make up. That's too much to do in that kind of
He had a
race.
perfect trip and just kind of stayed where he was. I mean, he looked live in the middle of the stretch, and then they all kind of died in the middle of the stretch there.
Decision Day, a top pick winner. I'm not who
Good
picks
pick on
that.
one, though.
Pickled Preacher, a third pick, fourth pick. What was he on mine? He was the third pick on NAHUpicks.com. Seal the Deal,
Nothing wrong with that.
the fourth pick. CC Big
There we
Boy
go.
Sam.
NAHUpicks.com is on point all night, son.
Yeah, 8-1 morning line bet down to the 2-1 favorite.
Yeah, you can't look at morning line all the time.
I don't. That's why
This one should never be 8-1 morning line in that race. I mean,
Well, yeah.
that's true.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying that's incorrect. I mean, that's just.
I agree.
I like to think of it that so many people value my opinion that I think that's the reason why the chalks have been winning so much. Is because my top picks have been doing so well.
83,000 in the pick four pool.
Yeah, it was nice. That's good for a Friday night.
Yeah, that's all right.
But for a Saturday night, it doesn't really matter.
There's no Saturday racing.
It's a Friday night too, so why would we compare it to a Saturday? It's two completely different markets. As my boy Andrew McCarthy heads back to the winner's circle, Andy, one of the few guys who actually stopped me to say hello when he saw me. No other drivers I know do that. Andy did.
I think he's actually going back to Australia for a little, like a month or so.
Yeah, he's on vacation soon, he said. I was reading that too.
Yeah, I wasn't, but good for him. Everyone's got to go back home every now and again, I guess.
Yeah.
$6.60 winner there in the first leg of the pick four. I move on.
Well, we got to give a shout out to some of our biggest supporters, our Canadian friends, Terry Wilson, Sugar Doyle, Lou Sorella, Dan Kahn, all tuned in, commenting on the feed. Bill O'Donnell. My
He's
Aunt
just learning
Kathy.
how to read. That's why it's taking him a little bit.
No, I'm going through. I'm searching. My Aunt Kathy, who lives in Canada. My aunt lives in Canada. She's watching.
Wait, why?
Why does she live in Canada, or why is she watching?
Why?
Because Earth.
Why are you questioning our viewership, Ray? Shut up.
It's just why of all the people I expect to have relatives in Canada, Rod on that list is not even. He's not even
Listen, Ron knows everyone. He's like Donald Trump.
Well, then he lives where they
Don't
go.
make that comparison.
But I didn't even hear what you said because I was too busy being high pitched. Okay. Mickey Mouse. Oh, my ears are floppy.
Who's happy?
Michael Jackson impersonation.
You don't watch enough Stern, apparently. But anyway.
No, I have an actual taste in music. We have
Give me some odds at London, Rod.
64, 29.
On the 5.
Oh.
The 5 at London in this race is currently 6-1.
That's worth a little bet, I think.
Wait,
Yeah,
London,
no.
Western Fair, let's see.
He's been completely flat recently.
Who, Star Photo?
Yeah. I do not like his races that he's been going.
I don't like it. I don't like that horse. That horse, it's got to go. Sorry. It's an executive decision.
The one plays well here with Brett McDonald. I think he's going to fire.
That's it. You just think he's going to fire? You don't think he's going to go away with it? He's going to steal it. He's going to go on vacation with it.
No, he's going to be up close. He's going to be following Sicario if Sicario's flat. Who's going to be the favorite?
Sicario goes for the lead?
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. I definitely think Holiday Holly should be up close because if you have the rail at London and you don't go for the lead, you might as well just not even show up. There's no point in throwing away that great an opportunity.
Oh, we did get a little intel on Lou Sorella's horse tomorrow night in race number 1, Michael.
Okay.
Rebosey.
He said tomorrow's opener needs some pace to chase. Maybe JD kicks out like a rocket with Carmine's and we can hunt him down.
I do feel like that the 7 will be on the front in that race for sure, because I did do some work here for tomorrow already, and I do feel like the 7 is the one to beat in the race, just because he's been facing better and he's going to get the front in the race for sure. But his horse, it's a stone closer for sure. But you look and the horse had 16 in the money finishes this year, and was live 2 back. And that was the velocity-driven race. But, it was on the right part of the racetrack last time, but didn't finish bad. Just really never got a chance to get in your broom. Gets Henry back. I don't mind the horse. I mean, I think he can get a piece for sure.
My question is that if a horse blows smoke as he's flying from the back of the pack towards the lead, does that mean he's a stoned closer, folks? I got a lot of opinions. I got.
Yeah, that horse is a closer. I mean, there's no question about it.
I don't know where the phrase "stone closer" originated. I don't know if it dates back to when the cavemen.
Why do you have to pick apart every little thing?
Because, Mike, in this postmodern world where I have to no longer worry about where I'm getting my food from or sharpening my spear so that I can fight off my neighbors from stealing my pack of gold, all I have to do is dissect the institutions that we've established. There's nothing left. I can go over and play this piano and then have a box of insulin shipped to my house.
Don't we have a break or something coming up? Stop right. Madness.
But my point being, you gotta understand, you gotta look at the language, because the language explains the culture. Is stone closer a phrase that dates back to when the cavemen just threw rocks and saw how far they could go? The one that went the farthest.
When you say stone closer, it means that's pretty much all the horse ever does is close. That's always capable.
Oh, so I get, so stone means solid in this case, because last time I hit a stone, it doesn't sound hollow. It's not like when you try and find the perfect watermelon, you just kind of look like a jackass doing it.
Well, I had a dickhead throw a stone at my windshield today.
Well, Rod, there's a difference between looking for watermelon and deserving it. The point I'm making here,
it was a semi-driver.
You're at the grocery store, and you're looking for the right watermelon. You pick it up and hold up to your ear. There's nothing about whether it sounds more hollow or not that makes it taste better. That's the point I'm making.
How do you know that? Have you tested that?
Because I am one of those jagoffs that actually does it, and it doesn't matter. I do it purely because I saw other people do it, and I wanted to act like I knew what I was doing. I just pick up the watermelon, and I hit it, and I go, oh, and I put it in my cart, and I walk away. Because all these other people sit and go through every single watermelon to find the exact timbre necessary for the citric juices to just ripen.
Well, they don't want any of the...
It's not citric.
It's water, literally.
It's not water because there's melon in it. I do not go into the oceans.
All right, enough of the watermelons.
I do not go into the oceans and see melons inside of the liquid area that we call the ocean. I see sponges, which, if there are sponges in the ocean, why isn't it all dried up yet? Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many questions I have. That
aren't ever going to get answered. We can promise that.
there's so little time to answer it because we're 4 minutes away from a break, and by which well, actually not 4 minutes. After this race at London, we're going to break, and then we're going to come back with more racing, and then we're going to go into the Mohawk Pick 4, and I'm going to have even more questions that at some point I'm just going to have to realize I can't ask them here because this is not the crowd that can answer them. This is I have an inquisitive mind that has to find what?
We mentioned last week we were going to reveal some results, which we will do in the second hour from our...
Oh, yeah. Do we have the results of the whatever?
Yes.
Well, my paternity test?
We've only got a couple minutes, so we can go ahead and do this right now.
Guys, Frank is my father. You guys know this, right? Where'd you get the blood?
That's the only explanation, really.
Where do you get my bodily fluids to try and test this for yourself? Do I need to lock my doors? I'm very concerned right now about what's happening. What happens when I'm not here? Actually, I don't even think about what happens when I'm not here.
Usually it's a lot more structured.
All right.
Oh yeah, like what I do is not structured. Like
okay.
I am not just a contrived contrarian who
No,
goes
it's whatever pops in your head. There's no structure.
There's
not any of it planned.
Because I have a grammar inside of my sentence that follows the proper verb tense that is necessary.
Are you done?
I'm hoping.
I mean, I'm never done. Pause.
Okay.
For whatever you have to say.
So we had on our website our poll of 10 random asked questions, and tons of people responded. So we'll go through them really quickly. I'll give you the percentages of the answers. Question 1, as a fan and or handicapper, do you feel that harness racing is finding new ways to keep fans interested? Overwhelmingly, 70% on the nose said no. Question 2.
Okay, well, I'll let you read them, and I'll weigh in.
Okay. Question 2, which type of racing would you rather bet on? And this was, you could make multiple choices in this question. Grand Circuit races, regular overnight races, trotters, pacers. So 23% said Grand Circuit races, 59% said regular overnight races, 21% said trotters, 45% said pacers.
I think I said overnights there.
Question 3, which would you rather see happen as a fan? More entertainment options during racing, i.e. contest giveaways, bands, food and drink specials, loyalty rewards points based on play, less takeout, less time between races. 35% said they want more entertainment options during racing. 11% said they want loyalty rewards. 36% said they want less takeout, and 18% said less time between races.
Less takeout, please.
I don't necessarily see a problem with time between races so long as you
the
actual time between races.
Yeah.
Some people don't like that.
So the majority of people want more entertainment and less takeout.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you guys see Santa Anita today?
No.
Sent out a release that on opening day they are also going to be hosting figure skating or ice skating classes.
Nice.
It's Southern California, the prime place for ice skating.
Why not?
As opposed to British Columbia.
All right, we got to run through these real quick. Question 4, would you rather see less races with bigger fields or more races with smaller fields? 67% said less races with bigger fields.
Agree.
Question 5, cast your vote for Driver of the Year. And there's a whole slew of them on here. 35% said Aaron Merriman. 13% said Tim Tetrick. 11% said Yannick Gingras. And then everybody else was under that. Question 6.
Mine was Rod Adams Jr.
He wasn't on the list.
Jump.
You have to drive in more than 10 races to qualify.
Yes. Question 6, Trainer of the Year. Ron Burke got the majority there with 32%. In second was Jimmy Takter at 22%. And
you guys
then
remember when Jimmy Takter trained horses?
And then Tony Alagna was third at 9%.
He should be higher than that.
Uh,
Good year.
Question 7. Should anyone be able to watch live horse racing for free like every other sport? 4 dickheads said no.
Not just people, mind you. They're below people. They are the scum, according to what Ron said.
No, they're just
Did they
dickheads.
identify themselves as such during the survey?
No, it's an anonymous survey, so.
Oh, well, okay, then I think that you're profiling.
So what? It's my survey. I can do what the hell I want.
Yeah, Ron's one of those guys that just makes surveys so he can judge people.
Where are we at in London?
We're getting
6
there.
seconds.
All right. Question 8. Pick your gritty horse of the year.
Gritty.
Gritty. Grit. Like grits and
like
gravy.
a coordinate plane?
So the list consisted of the horses with the most wins this year. Sharton overwhelmingly got that at 48%. Question 9, which would you rather see, free program downloads or free live video online? Very split here, 51% to 49% for free program downloads.
Really?
And then the final question, if there were specials, entertainment between races, would you rather stay at home and bet online or go to the racetrack in person? 65% said they would rather go to the racetrack.
Oh yeah, well this race at London's off from the center. What can I say? Leaves out to the inside Sicario, and Holiday Holly shows speed too towards the inside, moving around that first turn. I believe What Can I Say takes pocket to Sicario. That's exactly how it went. Holiday Holly is back in third, ahead of Star Photo, tucking into fourth. Jim Rat from the second tier away fifth. And then it's up to the Fog. Rivers at home looks like is sixth. From the back, A-Worthy B, played by Swan as they move down the backstretch. Sicario, 1-2 favorite, leads What Can I Say in 30 and 4. But now look at this action heading into the turn. Oh boy, is it a slugfest here in the Fog? If only we could see it happening. Sicario, What Can I Say? Holiday Holly, Star Photo. Those are the top 4 as listed. On the bottom of the feed, they come back into camera view, and towards the half mile, Sicario's actually unchallenged on the lead. Inside, What Can I Say? Sits second, now shuffled to third, as outside Holiday Holly marches up to be second, played by Swans on that one's cover, second over, moving into the clubhouse turn. Then shuffled back to the inside, Star Photo, ahead of Jim Rat, then A-Worthy B towards the back of the pack, in Rivers at home. To the backstretch, where Sicario leads the field by about a length. What Can I Say? To the inside of Holiday Holly, with played by Swan contently and intently tracking that one's cover. Star Photo looks like is still up into that one's contention as they move towards the final turn. And now here's some separation for Sicario. Leads here by about 4.5. And the margin's expanding from Holiday Holly sitting second. Backing away, played by Swan. And What Can I Say? As they turn for home, Sicario. That's a big lead here as they come into the lane and through the fog, through the mist, through the clouds. Sicario, 4.5 lengths, an open length winner here in the 9th. Final margin about 3.5. Star Photo took second from, looks like What Can I Say? The rest of them crossed the wire. Sicario, an odds-on winner at 206-1.
Another favorite at London?
Look, Mike, you have to understand, favorites win 33% of the time. It's just, they win more often than others.
I see.
And that, all of that said, 9th race of the Meadowlands should be coming up, so we're going to go to break after this.
They're going to the gate right now.
Yeah, we're going to go to break after this.
I'm live to all, so I want the 9.
Yeah.
I am live to the 2, 6, and 8. Mike's alive to the 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8.
And I actually punched my ticket.
So did I. And
I mean, I did too, but when I punched it, it ripped up, so now it's worth nothing. This 9th race is lining up 8-5 favorite, the 2 Cheyenne Raiders. Second choice at 4-1, the 1 Twin Creeks Jesse. The 4 Live On and the 7 Indy Ingot taking play at 6-1. Field of 9 all in line, in behind, approaching the start for the 9th. From the Meadowlands racetrack, and now it's off and pacing. Legion of Boom from the outside leaves out. The outer 4 all leave. Indy Ingot shows speed. He can fly too with Waltz across the wire, now floating away for position towards the back of the pack to the first turn. Legion of Boom, though, crosses over, clears control. Live On to the inside, gets away second. Twin Creeks Jesse back third to the first quarter. Cheyenne Raider is fourth. Now fifth is Indy Ingot. Pushes onto the outside. Duke of Delray is then towards the back of the pack as he can fly, gets towards the rail. Terror Hall is second to last. Waltz across the wire, trails. Legion of Boom cleared to the backstretch, while Live On sits the pocket 2 lengths away. Twin Creeks Jesse to the inside, races third. Indy Ingot tucked to the inside fourth and is now shuffled back as the favorite Cheyenne Raider ventures overland up to be third and racing on cover, progressing towards the leader, heading to the half mile. Gapping cover, but advancing. Duke of Delray is second over. Third over, then he can fly. Indy Ingot's shuffled back towards the 7th spot. Terror Hall's then to the inside as Waltz across the wire joins the outside flow, moving towards the final turn. Narrow lead here for Legion of Boom. A half length, now a length ahead of Cheyenne Raider, still on that one's throat to the outside. Live On sits tight in the pocket third, while Duke of Delray tries to draw closer towards his cover. 3 wide from the back, he can fly with about 5.5 lengths to make up, with Twin Creeks Jesse towards the inside looking for racing room as they come to the top of the stretch, chasing Legion of Boom, a length and a half ahead of Live On, now with room to tip to the outside. Indy Ingot slides through towards the rail as Cheyenne Raider retreats to that one's outside, coming down to the 8th pole. Legion of Boom with the length advantage. Live On trying to pounce out of the pocket to the outside. Legion of Boom holds sway. Outside, Live On is trying to cut into that one's margin. Live On, but Legion of Boom's holding on. Live On to the outside, still surging. And at the line, Live On might have gotten the advantage by a nose from Legion of Boom. It's a photo, though, in 1:51, tight on the wire.
I think the 4 got up.
I think the 4 got up, too.
He did.
And I didn't have him.
I did.
I did.
Bang, bang.
Boom. You had all of them, right?
Got 'em all. Jackass.
I had them all. My dad knew a guy at Pompano Park who, after every race, would just sift through tickets because he bet every horse in the race and would just go, I got it. And after every single race, he just bet all of the horses to win. And he would just go, I got it.
Good bet. I got it. I got it. Ron got it.
Anyway, we're going to go to break. When we come back with North American Harness Update, more Pick 4 from the Meadowlands in London, and hopefully we'll be able to squeeze in some Mohawk, too. We're going to have to.
I got it.
This is North American Harness Update here on SRN1.
I got it.
So I want to thank all of you for letting me come back here to see, what really happens backstage. It's an honor for me to be able to be in front of all of you, especially you and you. But I do have to say that there's money on the line out there, and you don't want to go out on the track and do something that seems a little bit iffy just to get that extra check. You might come back and money a bit later. So clean and fair competition is all I want to see from all you guys. All right? Yes.
So I pick up a pylon, hold it until it's stretched, and I throw it to somebody past it.
That to me does not sound being fair. That sounds, in fact, not clean and very unfair. And also kind of inconvenient. So, are you getting off the horse, or no? Yes.
Is it alright if you're gonna loop the field and drag your whip in a manner and then flip off the judges or anything?
I mean, if the camera doesn't see it, it still doesn't seem like a good idea because the camera always yes.
Is it okay if I drink this during the race?
No. I can get you pulled over by the horsey police that are following you around the track there. That's a bad idea. That's very unfair, very unclean. I'd check your liver if I were you. Okay, so, yes.
Is it okay to challenge somebody to foot race after the race?
don't see anything wrong with that. That's pretty.
What if he's over 65?
And he has tennis shoes. So he's old and he's not wearing shoes? But if they're tennis shoes, if he's California, does that mean he's like fit and vegan?
Actually, he is.
But he's definitely clean, and that to me seems unfair for whoever's going against him. I just want to see you guys out there racing those horses as fairly as you possibly can, alright? So do we have everyone clear on that? Clean and fair. No drinking and driving, no pylons, no middle fingers. Foot races are okay, but I'm focused more on the horse foot races. Okay, so that seems clean and fair to everybody. Feel like that's a no. Someone's hiding something. Tú, Juan.
¿Es correcto si pateas el caballo cuando va en la carrera?
Sí.
Sí.
Yeah.
That sounds clean and fair to me. Go out and do that. Everyone follow his lead, all right? That's what I want to see, okay? So we're gonna end this on a chant, all right? Clean and fair.
No.
Clean and fair.
Never.